We implemented our last rate increase in 2006, and at the time we were told that it would last us about 5 years. Our consultants estimated for 5-year growth on that. We were able to stretch that to 7 years, and that was through a lot of hard work on our part, a lot of streamlining of operations, evaluating expenses, all that goes into that sort of thing. We've come to the point where we're spending out of our reserves, and that's a bad policy to follow. If we continue to do that, it looks like we could be out of cash within 5 years, which is where we don't want to be, because there's all sorts of things that get triggered at that point. So we brought to the Board of Directors for the PSA a plan to consider a rate increase. We have a public hearing scheduled on that on May the 20th. It'll be 7 o'clock here in the Summerlin Room at the County Administration Building. And we get feedback, and we expect feedback. And folks say, we can't afford to pay more. We can't afford any kind of rate increase, and we don't want to give you one. We've stretched it out as long as we possibly can stretch it out, but we can't put the operation at risk either. So we feel like we need to look at this, get public input, and then see where we go from there.
In fact, a small increase may actually benefit the PSA in 2 ways. It may make you eligible for low-interest loans and other opportunities from the feds.
We have some funding partners in the federal government who provide funding for capital expenditures, for system expansion, that sort of thing. But they have a certain level of expectation of the locality to provide as much money as it can before it gets to that process. And our rates are considered too low by several of those funding agencies to even consider us for grants. We want grants more so than loans because we don't have to pay them back. So to be considered for any kind of grant process, you have to have your rates at a certain level. So even if we do bump our rates up to the recommended level, we still won't qualify for the grant programs that we really need to have significant growth in the system.